Have you ever felt like life was just throwing everything at you? Like the problems kept coming, one after the other, never ending? Well, guess what? You're not alone. We've all been there. But what if I told you that tucked away in the Bible, in the book of Genesis chapters 21, all the way to the end, there's a secret stash of promises from God that are waiting for us to dig them out? Yeah, these aren't your average promises. These are the Big Daddy promises, the kind that stick around no matter what, even when things get rough. And trust me, they do get rough. But God's promises, they stand strong. Now, I know you might be thinking, okay, great, promises. How exactly do they help me right now? Well, let me break it down for you. See, God has a way of keeping his cool when everything around him seems to be falling apart. And he wants us to do the same. He wants us to be like him, full of faith, even when life hits us with its best shot. These promises in Genesis 21 to the end, they're like the treasure chest of our faith. They remind us that no matter how bad things get, God's got our back. He's the ultimate insurance policy, the one who makes good on his word, no matter what. So here's the deal. As we dig into these promises, I want you to close your eyes and picture yourself surrounded by all the stuff that is weighing you down right now. The worries, the fears, the doubts, the stress. Throw it all in there. Now, open your eyes and watch as we uncover the promises that will change everything. It's time to rewrite your story with God's promises. Let's do this thing. Picture this. Abraham and Sarah, the original power couple from the Bible. They finally had their son, Isaac, when they were super old. And you know what that meant. God had made another promise come true. Remember, God had told them way back when that they would have so many descendants that it would be impossible to count them all. But here they were, old and wrinkly, thinking that was probably not going to happen. Yet somehow, miraculously, Isaac came along. This was more proof that God keeps his promises. No matter how crazy things seem, God's word is rock solid. But wait, there's more. God didn't just stop at Isaac. He went on to make some seriously mind-blowing promises in Genesis 22. First off, he promised that through Isaac's descendants, which is basically a fancy way of saying Jesus and all believers, God would bless the whole world. That's right. God's love isn't just for a select few, it's for everyone. Next, he made an amazing promise to Isaac himself. God said that if Isaac would just do the right thing, then his descendants would live in peace and harmony. No messing around with slavery or anything like that. And get this, God even promised to drive out all the bad stuff, all the violence and evil from Isaac's future family tree. Now that's a promise worth hanging on to. Fast forward a bit to Genesis 26, and things get even more interesting. God talks to Isaac and makes some more jaw-dropping promises. He promised that he would multiply Isaac's family, giving them lots and lots of land. And get this, he even promised rain, like actual rain, because Isaac's people were living in a place where it hadn't rained in a long, long time. Plus, God promised to protect Isaac's family and keep them safe from harm. Talk about a blessing. And then, boom, in Genesis 28, God repeats all these amazing promises to Joseph, promising to watch over him and make sure he returns safely to the land of Canaan. God even promised that he would give Joseph's descendants all the land they could ever want or need. And get this, he promised that he would be with Joseph's family, just like he was with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's right. God keeps his promises. No matter how many times he repeats them, they still hold up. As Jacob's family grew, so did God's promises in Genesis 35. God reaffirmed everything he had said before, promising to be with Jacob, to protect him, to bless him, and to make him into a great nation. And get this, he promised to give Jacob's descendants all the land they needed. Plus, God made a new promise, a pinky promise, if you will, with Jacob's grandson, Joseph, promising to take care of him and his family and to bring them back to Canaan. And then, whoa, in Genesis 46, God makes a whopping 7 promises to Joseph. No, 1. He promises to bring Joseph's family back to Canaan. He promises to make Joseph and his brothers into great leaders. No. 3. He promises to be with Joseph's family and protect them. He promises to make Joseph's descendants into a great nation. No. 5. He promises to give them land and make them rich. No. 6. He promises to punish anyone who tries to mess with his people. And number 7, he promises to be a God to Joseph's family and to their descendants forever. Now, that's quite a list, but God wasn't done yet. In Genesis 48, during a family reunion, God made some more promises to Joseph's grandsons, Ephraim and Manasseh, promising that their family lines would become great nations. And get this, he promised to make them into princes, giving them all the power and glory that came with it. And finally, in Genesis 49, God gave Jacob one last set of promises, basically summing up everything he had said before. He promised to watch over Jacob's family, to bless them and to make them into a great nation. And get this, he promised that no one would be able to wipe out his people because God himself would protect them. Plus, he made some predictions about what would happen to each of Jacob's sons, including some pretty intense stuff like bloodshed and betrayal. But he also promised that they would eventually come together and be strong again. Wow, right? All these promises can seem like just stories from long ago, but they actually have a deeper meaning for us today. They're a reminder that God keeps his promises no matter what. Even when things look bleak and we feel like we're all alone, we can hold on to these promises and know that God's got our back. So next time you're facing a tough situation, just remember the stories of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, and know that God's promises are still true today. Alright, my friends, we've uncovered some amazing promises from God in Genesis 21 to the end. God keeps his word, no matter what. He blesses those who trust in him, and he watches over his people. These promises are for you today. Hold on to them, believe in them, and know that God is with you. But wait, there's more. If you want to dive deeper into God's promises and discover even more treasures from the Bible, check out my video called 30 Bible Verses. That'll keep you going. It's packed with powerful verses that will encourage, inspire, and strengthen your faith. Click the link below to watch now. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. I release new content every week to help you grow in your faith and walk with Jesus. Also, feel free to drop your comments and questions below. I love connecting with you guys, and I try to respond to as many comments as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.